Welcome back, everyone. We're diving into something pretty amazing today.
Oh, yeah.
The brain of Albert Einstein.
Mm,
I mean, we're talking about the brain that shifted our whole view of the universe.
right. From like gravity to how we even think about time and space.
And we're going beyond just the surface level stuff.
Yeah.
We've got research, articles, even some quirky stories
I love those.
to figure out what really made his mind work the way it did.
It's fascinating, right? I mean, this is the brain that like
Yeah,
changed everything.
exactly. And you know that whole thing about Einstein flunking math?
Oh, the myth.
Yeah, like, we can all be geniuses.
Right.
Not really true.
Nope, not at all.
Turns out he was actually a fantastic student.
Yeah, from what I've seen, the myth comes from how grades worked in Switzerland back then.
Ah, so like a misunderstanding.
Exactly.
Got it.
And if you look at his high school report card,
Okay.
top marks in physics and math.
No surprise there.
Right. Not surprising at all.
Makes sense.
But I think people like that myth
Yeah.
because it makes us feel better. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. If Einstein struggled,
Yeah.
then maybe our brains aren't so bad.
Exactly. It gives us hope.
But honestly, the real story of his brain,
Okay.
way more interesting than
Definitely.
any myth.
I'm all ears.
It involves a bit of a post-mortem adventure.
Post-mortem adventure. Okay, now you've got to tell me more.
So picture this. Just hours after Einstein passes away, a pathologist named Thomas Harvey removes his brain
Wait, what?
without permission from the family.
Wow, that's a huge ethical issue.
Right. Especially since Einstein wanted to be cremated.
Oh, wow. So they didn't even honor his wishes.
I know, it's 1955.
Yeah.
And this guy's walking around with one of history's most famous brains
In a jar.
in a jar. It sounds like a movie plot.
It really does.
And the irony is Harvey wasn't even a brain expert.
Oh, really?
He was a pathologist,
Okay.
not a neuroscientist.
So not the right person to be handling this.
Not at all. So he spends years traveling across America with Einstein's brain.
What, trying to find someone to study it?
Yeah, trying to find researchers who'd take him seriously.
That's persistence, I guess.
He did eventually get permission from Einstein's son,
Oh,
but only if the brain was used for research and published in respected journals.
makes sense. Trying to make something good come out of it.
Exactly.
So after all that drama,
Yeah.
what did they find?
Was there anything physically different about his brain?
Okay, so this is where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
First of all,
Yeah.
his brain wasn't bigger than average.
Really?
It was actually a bit smaller.
Huh. Debunks that whole brain size equals intelligence thing.
Right. Size isn't everything.
So what did they find?
They found some unique anatomical features.
Okay, I'm hooked. Give me the details.
So they found an extra gyrus.
Gyrus.
It's just a fancy word for a fold
Okay.
in his frontal cortex,
Frontal cortex.
which is responsible for like higher level thinking,
Okay.
planning, that kind of stuff.
Got it.
So this extra fold might explain why he was so good at math and spatial reasoning.
Hold on, an extra fold in his brain. Like he had a bonus feature?
Yeah, kind of. It's amazing.
So if I could just grow an extra gyrus,
Hmm.
I could be a math whiz.
I wish it were that simple.
Right.
You can't just ignore practice and experience.
Of course. Of course.
But it does highlight how certain areas of the brain are linked to specific skills.
Makes you think about what parts of your own brain you might want to strengthen.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so extra gyrus.
Yeah.
What else did they find?
His parietal lobe,
Parietal lobe.
which is involved in like math and visual thinking,
Okay.
was unusually large.
Interesting.
And there's more.
Oh, there's more.
They found something called an enlarged omega sign.
Omega signs.
It's an area linked to fine motor skills.
Fine motor skills. Okay.
And this could be connected to his lifelong love of playing the violin.
Wait, are you saying playing music can actually change the structure of your brain?
It's wild, right?
That's incredible.
It shows the plasticity of the brain.
So Einstein's passion for music
Yeah.
might have literally shaped his brain.
It's amazing how adaptable the brain is.
That brings us to that whole nature versus nurture debate.
Classic debate.
Was he born with these unique features?
Right.
Or did his experiences change his brain over time?
It's the age-old question.
So was Einstein born a genius, or did he make himself one?
It's probably a combination
Got
of
it.
both.
Okay, both make sense.
His brain did have some remarkable features,
Right,
but we can't discount his environment, his curiosity,
that makes sense.
and his dedication to learning.
Right, it all plays a part.
I mean, remember, he was captivated by a simple compass as a child.
Oh yeah, I remember reading about that.
which sparked a lifelong fascination with the mysteries of the universe.
And even with a regular job at the patent office, he was constantly studying,
always learning,
exploring those scientific ideas.
Never stopped.
Amazing.
It really is. It's kind of wild, right? Yeah. Even with a 9-to-5, Einstein just kept going, exploring, learning.
It's true dedication.
For sure.
But there's one thing about his brain.
Oh, yeah.
That I found really surprising.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Researchers found that the neuron density in a specific area was actually lower than average.
Wait, wouldn't a genius have more brain cells?
That's what I thought.
Right.
But I guess the brain's more complicated than that.
Oh, it definitely is.
It's not just the number, but how they're connected.
How they talk to each other.
And this area, I'm going to get a little technical here.
Go forth.
It's called Brodmann Area 39.
Brodmann Area, is that like a neighborhood in the brain or something?
You can think of it that way.
Okay.
It's basically a specific region with a certain job.
Got it.
So Brodmann areas are just how scientists map out different parts.
Okay, that makes sense.
So anyway, this area, in Einstein, it's like the brain's language center.
Interesting.
And it had this lower density of neurons. And what's interesting is that Einstein actually had a speech delay as a kid.
Oh, wow. Really?
And kind of struggled with language his whole life.
That's fascinating.
So maybe his brain was wired for different types of processing.
That's a really interesting thought.
We were talking earlier about how he thought in images and music.
Right, not just words.
So could this lower density in the language area be connected to that?
I mean, it's totally possible.
Makes sense.
Like maybe his brain was compensating.
Oh, yeah.
By strengthening connections in other regions.
Okay.
The ones for visual and spatial thinking.
Interesting.
Like his brain was this high-performance machine.
I like that analogy.
Optimizing for what mattered most.
For those breakthroughs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like who needs all those words when you can think in pictures and equations?
Exactly.
But speaking of connections,
there
was something unique about how the two sides of his brain communicated.
Oh, you're talking about the corpus callosum.
Yeah. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yeah, that's the bridge between the two hemispheres.
Okay.
And studies showed his was thicker than average.
Thicker than average? Wow.
So more communication, more sharing between different parts.
Like a brain with super fast internet.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not just about these specialized areas, but how they all work together.
As a team.
I love that.
It's amazing.
And it all comes back to nature versus nurture, right?
Always does.
So Einstein had these remarkable features. But he also had that drive to learn, the curiosity.
Absolutely.
And the support of his environment.
Right. You can't forget that.
So it really is a mix.
It always is.
But here's a question.
Okay.
If his brain was so unique, does that mean genius is predetermined?
Are we just stuck with what we're born with?
Exactly.
I mean, that's a question that's been around forever.
It's a big one.
And the answer is complicated.
I bet it is.
Genius is this mix of so many things.
Yeah.
Genes, environment, opportunities, maybe even a little bit of luck.
So it's not just about winning the genetic lottery.
Definitely not.
Okay, good.
Genes are the foundation.
Right.
But it's our experiences, our interactions, our choices that shape who we become.
That's reassuring.
Even if we don't have Einstein's gifts.
Right.
We can still strive for excellence.
In our own way.
In our own unique ways.
So what can we learn from Einstein's brain?
Good question.
Even if we're not all aiming to be physicists.
I think what Einstein's story shows us is that genius isn't about fitting in or following the rules.
Right.
It's about challenging those norms. And thinking differently.
Thinking outside the box.
Exactly. He wasn't afraid to be different.
And that's a lesson for everyone, right?
Absolutely. Genius is not about the mold.
It's about breaking free.
It's about embracing our unique ways of thinking, learning, creating.
Maybe we're not all destined to be physicists.
Right.
But we can all find our own way to shine.
I love that.
And it's also about cultivating that love of learning. Embracing challenges.
Absolutely.
And always seeking knowledge.
Always be curious.
Even if it takes us down some unexpected paths.
That's where the fun is.
So as we kind of wrap up this part of our deep dive into Einstein's incredible mind.
Yeah.
It's important to remember.
What's that?
We're not just talking about cells and synapses here.
Right.
We're talking about the mind that revolutionized how we understand the universe.
I mean, it's incredible to think about.
And while we can admire his brain's unique features, his genius wasn't just about biology.
So much more to it.
It was this combination of things.
His natural talent, his curiosity, always wanting to learn more.
Never being satisfied.
And challenging the norm.
Pushing boundaries.
And we can't forget the role of his environment.
Right.
The chances he had.
The opportunity.
To follow his passions.
But it makes you wonder, right?
What's that?
Could he have achieved the same level of brilliance? If he was born in a different time?
Different place, different circumstances. Yeah, exactly.
It's a great question.
It really is.
It's definitely possible things would have been different if he hadn't had the right intellectual stimulation.
What if he had faced more obstacles?
Right. Societal limitations.
Makes you think about how many potential Einsteins are out there.
Oh, yeah.
Their brilliance may be dimmed.
Because they didn't have the opportunity.
Or they faced too many barriers.
It's a thought-provoking idea.
It really is.
It really highlights the need for inclusive education.
Absolutely.
For systems that support different kinds of intelligence.
To nurture every mind.
Giving everyone a chance.
To reach their full potential.
Regardless of background, circumstances.
Powerful stuff.
It really is.
Yeah, it really makes you think how much we're missing out on, right?
Absolutely, when people don't have the chance to develop their talents.
But Einstein wasn't just a straight-A student.
Oh, no, not at all.
Didn't always follow the rules.
He was a bit of a rebel.
A daydreamer.
Yeah, thinking outside the box.
Daring to be different. Challenging the status quo.
And that's a powerful lesson for everyone, I think.
It really is.
Genius isn't about fitting in.
It's about breaking free.
Embracing how you think and learn and create.
Finding your own way.
Maybe we're not all going to be physicists.
Huh?
But we can all find our own way to shine.
I love that.
And it's about that love of learning.
Yeah.
Embracing the challenge.
For sure.
Always seeking knowledge.
Always be curious.
Even if it takes us down some crazy path.
It's all part of the adventure.
So as we wrap up our deep dive here into Einstein's mind.
Incredible mind.
Remember, his legacy goes beyond just the science.
Oh, absolutely.
It's a testament to human curiosity.
And the importance of nurturing those different talents.
Yeah, all those different ways of thinking.
And the potential that we all have.
Inside each of us.
It's a call to action almost.
To embrace our own intellectual adventures.
Challenge ourselves.
Never stop exploring.
The mysteries of the universe.
Out there.
And inside ourselves.
And maybe,
just
by following his example,
we
can all tap into our own unique genius.
That's a beautiful thought.
Help create a world where brilliance is everywhere.
That's what we need.
On that note, we'll leave you to ponder Einstein's amazing legacy.
And all those possibilities.
The possibilities of the human mind.
Keep those wheels turning.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time, keep exploring.